Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to our garden. Today we're gonna finally start planting in the chicken coop garden bed. So we're really excited about that. Let me show you kind of what we're starting with. It's a large bed, it's a large space, so it's gonna take some time till we really decide on everything that we want to put in here and what our options are. But that's the beauty of it. So let me show you what we're gonna start off with first. Okay, so recap on this space. It's a large area, so I'm gonna kind of walk you through the layout of what we have so far. So I have a Proven Winners Limelight hydrangea here. This one's going to get about 6 to 8 feet tall and wide, and that's okay because this corner space here, it's a large area, so I kind of want to backfill that area right there in front of the bougainvillea. Down in front, there's 2 denim and lace Russian sage. I'm going to pop another one in right here, so I'll have 3, just kind of a nice step down from the Limelight. Now the Limelight's a zone 3 through 9. These ones bloom on new wood, so I'll be able to size control it if I need to, but I'm not planning on it. And then the denim and lace Russian sage, those are going to be a 4 through 9, and those are roughly going to get about 3 to 3.5 feet tall and wide. And then our chicken coop. Now the spray is going to be our little pathway here. We got a little raised flower bed there, so I'm not too sure what we're going to be putting in there, but for right now I've got a couple lavenders to see if that's something I'm going to be set on putting in there. Okay, then down in front I've got this little cutout space here, so I'm going to pop in another Limelight there and 3 more denim and lace Russian sage there. So this one here I'm going to probably more size control, since this is a big shrub, so 6 to 8 feet tall and wide. It's going to completely fill in this whole back space there. So I don't really want it to be covering up the back walkway, the little pathway that we're going to have. That's about 3 feet there all the way around. This is all 3 feet. So I really don't want it to be covering up that pathway, so I'll probably more size control it along the back there. Okay, so this is the main pathway to the chicken coop here. So this is 3 feet wide, and it'll be 3 feet all the way around to the right, and then it'll be 3 feet or so along to the back. With the Limelight here in the back, I don't want it too far this way because it being such a larger shrub, I mean, if we're dealing with 6 to 8 feet, it's really going to fill in this entire space here. So I really don't want it spilling over onto the walkway here. So I am going to size control this a little bit. This soil here is pretty rough. I got some extra garden soil, some amendments, because this soil is pretty rough in here. So we do want to kind of condition it a little bit. This maple is looking amazing. Look at it, it's just so gorgeous. I love all the different colors on it. Okay, so yeah, this one here, this Limelight, we're gonna just let her probably get as big as she wants. So I want it to be a big shrub. I really want it to fill in this entire space. So I probably won't be size controlling that one. You can kind of see where this little space here is kind of dug out. We actually have another one of those aluminum flower beds. We're actually talking about maybe putting another one right here, and just another space to plant things. We moved all the chickens out into their coop today. They're all looking good. Looks like they're getting settled in. They definitely seem very happy in here. Hey girls. So this space here, remember I told you we had to remove this huge tree that we had planted here. If we can remove it, that would be great. If not, that's okay too. But in this space right here, this is going to be an irrigation line that we're going to tap into and run irrigation to this entire bed here. But I think right here down in front, I want to plant this David Austin's Olivia. I think it's like a 3x4 or 3x5 size, so I think it would fit in really nicely. But I'm going to wait another couple days to really decide on the spacing, the placement of all these shrubs that we have here, just to make sure that I'm really happy and set on this is where I'm going to want to put things. So let's check back in a day or so. Our little update on our walkway here for the chicken coop. Eric is kind of starting to get these bricks laid down here in the front. So he's trying to get them stacked so they'll be level. And he is using some concrete kind of to get the foundation right here. We're just using a gray standard brick here. Kind of wraps around this way. Like that. So you said there's going to be like steps?
Yeah, we're going to have to put a few steps in here so we're not slipping and sliding.
Okay. So you're using that concrete in between?
I'm going to use the mortar in between the brick.
Okay.
I'm using the concrete mix for the base.
For the base, okay.
The high strength concrete that will give it a good foundation.
Awesome. So we're going up to the right here, and then is it going to be, so this is about 3 feet on each side?
Yeah.
Right? Okay. And then there'll be another pathway along here that's going to go along to the back. Looking good so far. And we're going to get this, you're going to wet it tonight?
I'll wet it tonight, it'll get hard overnight.
Uh-huh.
And then I can start stacking bricks and using mortar. Finish her off.
Okay. An attack rooster. So since the outline is going to be the brick, what's going to be kind of, what are we going to be walking on here? Like sand, it's going to be rock, gravel?
Rock.
Just rock.
3/4 inch crushed rock.
I don't have the energy for you today.
But we have to pick a color.
Okay.
I'm going to put a couple of steps in here.
Uh-huh.
Probably almost even with these.
Uh-huh.
Steps across here and steps across there.
Right.
And then the rest will be raw. It'll be flatter than what it looks now. We have to level that out, add some dirt there, bring that up. And some leveling to do before we bring the rock in.
Well, I'm excited because I already love the way it looks already, and we're just in the like early beginning stages, so I'm really excited to kind of see how it's going to turn out. It's going to be really cute.
Do you know anything about what's happening right now?
I actually know nothing.
Doesn't have to be perfect because you're gonna use the mortar in between it.
Uh-huh.
You can level it with the mortar.
Yeah.
Gotta be close though. right at the hard part. The rest of this went pretty simple.
What you got there? They all want it. So Eric is building this area up with the concrete here. That way this area is going to be supported. And then we're going to water her in. Okay, we're just about finished with this dry packing method here. We're gonna get it watered in a couple times tonight just to make sure before we keep building on this area that we're gonna have a really nice supported foundation. Also worth mentioning, this hardscape, this retaining wall here, Eric actually did this as well himself and used this same technique, this dry packing technique, and it came out really great. So yeah, he went ahead and just leveled everything down, put the concrete down on the foundation, and then just kind of built and stacked from there. And we filled in all the spaces here with that 3/4 inch crushed gray rock. And we'll kind of show you that the video that we did where we kind of put all this in here and along that front gazebo area there. So I'll go ahead and link that video in below as well. But I love this retaining wall. It looks beautiful. It's exactly the kind of aesthetic that we're going for. And this is what Eric is doing as well for our little walkway here for the chicken coop. So we're just gonna get this watered in and that'll be it for tonight. The next day, the concrete has dried, so now it's time to do the brick and mortar part and just leveling up this whole right side of the chicken coop. I'll show you. Coming together pretty nicely. So as this area grades up the hill a little bit, the courses of the brick are going to be a little bit higher, so they will be stepping up probably right around here. They'll go up another course, maybe another 2 or 3. Go up the hill this way. But with the concrete that we wet last night and that is dried here, now Eric is kind of just laying the bricks down individually and kind of filling in with the gray mortar, which I really like this. I really like the gray brick with the gray mortar. It's gonna look really good. So he's doing up the right side of the chicken coop this way, and once that's done, he's gonna do the same thing that we did yesterday, up this pathway and around the rock, and then up the back side. The left side of the chicken coop will go up this way as well. This again, this is 3 feet here, so there will be a space here, and then we're gonna fill this whole path area in with some more crushed rock, and it'll all come through this way. So we'll have a really nice hardscape of rock and a nice path just to be able to walk through here and go into the chicken coop and just be able to get to this back side of the garden. It's gonna look really beautiful. I'm excited. Okay, so the concrete had a chance to harden overnight, And Eric's already come out this morning and he's laying down the brick and the mortar and kind of doing the same spacing as he did yesterday. And as he heads up over to the right side of the chicken coop, he's just going to kind of step up as he goes along as it starts getting taller. So there'll be kind of a step up and a grade that'll go up towards the chicken coop. And he's just going to keep kind of, you know, stacking those bricks and interspacing them with the mortar. And then when he's all done, then he's going to do the exact same thing over on the left side. This is what I'm talking about here. The brick and the mortar is getting laid down. I really like the gray on the gray. It's going to come all the way up to the right. Here, he's going to start increasing in size here, going up this way. So, and then we're gonna take the rock around the backside too, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll probably definitely need a yard because from ground level up to the top, that's pretty deep.
Well, once we level the dirt out, it's only going to be a course high.
So you're gonna put more like fill dirt top.
Well, once I level this out.
Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth?
And then level all this, got to go somewhere, so we'll have plenty of dirt to level it.
Okay. Okay, so this area is done. Now Eric repeated the same thing on the opposite side. We also added this railroad tie, so we would have that step up, which is why we had those extra courses added, because there is a slight elevation in front of the chicken coop. So Eric finished this whole side and repeated everything on the other side. I cannot believe just how beautiful and what a transformation just adding these hardscape touches and what it added to this entire space. I mean, this whole area has just been transformed, and I am so proud of Eric that he was able to do something like this. And just, you know, if I can dream it, he can build it. And this is what we came up with, and I am in love with this whole area. And remember what I said, that we were going to add that 3/4 crushed rock to this whole area in this walkway space. So we have that now. And then we finished that whole area up to the left side and another railroad tie here. Okay, so this is the 3/4 crushed rock that Eric laid down. And on this side, same thing. He repeated the same thing with the little courses curved up to the left. And we just added that extra railroad tie for that finishing touch. I am completely in love. I'm so impressed with this whole space. What do you guys think? I love all the extra little rooms here. We talked about this area here, but this is kind of the finished product. I do want to give you guys a proper chicken coop tour, kind of the materials that we used, how Eric built this, a little bit about the chickens that we do have, and or rooster, may or may not be a rooster, plural, to be determined still, but we can get into that in another video and just kind of show you this whole space and some of the materials that Eric used and kind of how we created this space here for them. But yeah, I'm in love. I'm absolutely in love. And then just over the course of a day, she has blessed this space. This is the David Austin Olivia. Ah, I love her. She's just so sweet. So this really has just turned into a cottage garden. Not intentionally, but this is just kind of how it all turned out, and I love it. And I did forget to mention, you're probably wondering when we talked about this limelight hydrangea, that how I wanted to originally plant it over in this space here. And we talked about this galvanized raised bed that we had before we put it in, and originally it was going to go here and I was going to kind of let it fill in that entire space. Well, we really decided to just leave this galvanized tub here in the space. It kind of gives me more room to plant more vegetable garden type things. Right now we actually put in 2 raspberries and a couple cosmos in there, and I think we just decided to leave this space kind of open for now. I might put pumpkins in there until we really decide on what we want to put in this whole space, but we opted to kind of move the limelight over here in this space here, and it's going to be 6 to 8 feet tall and wide, so it's going to roughly kind of fill in this whole space. And I don't know why I was so worried about it, because remember we have those 2 David Austin roses that are kind of starting to wake up there in the back, and I don't know why I was worried about covering them up. Those are climbers, so we put in this picket fence panel here. We just sat it there. It's not gonna look like that. We're actually gonna kind of set it in and then train the roses to kind of grow up onto that space, but we opted to put this here, and that way it'll fill in this whole back space and kind of soften up the brick area here. And I can size control it if I need to. I don't think I will, because I think this space is going to be big enough for it, so I think those will look really good there. But completely in love with all the hardscape, and just a few bricks and some rocks can just completely transform this entire area, and I just love it. Okay guys, thank you so much for sticking with me through this experience and seeing how Eric transformed this entire space and some of our little chicken coop updates. We really appreciate all your love and support. If you haven't already, go ahead and click subscribe so you don't miss out on what's happening in our garden. We'll see you next time.